Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate your payroll system with Excel. So I have my payslip prepared and I have my payroll also prepared, and then I have this folder on the right hand side. Now all I need to do is to click on this button, print payslip, and then all the payslip of my employee is automatically generated. So this is what we are going to learn, and of course we are going to have access to these resources. So follow me and follow the video. Thank you. I've actually prepared a typical payroll that has about 30. I have about 30 employees, and then their name, designation, and every other thing, levels, and then I have their income, their gross, then I have the deduction, and then the net total deduction and the net pay. This is actually a typical payroll system. Now what we want to do is that we want to link this payroll to our payslip, and then we are able to export it as a PDF file, and then that's what we want to do. We want to automate it in such a way that with just a button you can just export everything, and then you are done with it. So what I will do right now is that we simply link this payslip to this payroll. Now I've created this also to shorten the length of this video. You can actually do this. These are just lines and column and every other thing, which is actually very simple. Now we simply come here to where we have the staff ID, and then we create a drop down for our staff ID. So we'll go to data, data validation, click on data validation, and then list, click here, and then go to your payroll, then select your staff ID, and then click on OK. So here now we now have a drop down for all our staff, 30 of them in number. Now we want to return these details using Vlookup. So let's first of all return the month and the year. So we go to say Vlookup, and then what's our lookup value? This is our lookup value. Then comma, our table array, come to our payroll, and then you select your entire table array, and then I want to fix it. And then what we want to find this time around is the month and the year, which is in column 5. So we put index, the column index as 5, and then we want exact match, and then we have our month and the year returned for us. And then the next one is the name, so equals to Vlookup. Now this is our lookup value, and then our table array, simply come here and select the entire table array, and then the index for name is 2, so we pick 2, and then 0 for exact match. So we have this. So anytime you select, let's say 2, it actually return the details. So we are still dealing with that. Let's return all the details. Designation, say equals to Vlookup, and then we have our lookup value, this is our lookup value, and then our table array, I'll simply do this, and then I'll fix it. For designation, the index column, the column index is 4, so put in 4 and then 0. So we have our designation return. Then our level, we return it through Vlookup also, Vlookup, and then this is our lookup value. Our table array, select your entire table array. If you don't understand much about Vlookup, you can actually check my tutorial in the description. I've done a tutorial about it. And then what we want to return is actually the level. So level is column 6, and then 0. So we have this. Now we return all the details. So if you click on any employee ID, it actually return all the details. Now let's just finish every other one. Now I'll simply copy this formula here and modify. Now I'll press Ctrl C, I'll press my escape key, and I'll come here and I'll paste this formula. Now what I want to return here is actually all this. from basic to hazard. So I'll simply come to my payroll and check the column index. So from basic to hazard is column 7 to 12. 7 to 12, that's the index. So I'll simply come here and change this one to, instead of 6, change this one to 7, and then I'll paste. Let me just paste all the values, and I'll just have to change them, and then I have this. So here this is 7, then the next one for rent, this will be 8. Sorry, should be 8, yeah. And then for peculiar, that should be 9. For responsibility, that should be 10. For arrears, 11. For hazard, that will be 12. And then we're actually done with that. So this is just a model. Once you do it, you only have to do this once, and it becomes a model that you use every month. So we are done with this. Now let's work on this other part. Now if we come to our payroll, the deduction part, the column ranges from 14 to 21, from payee to advance. So from 14 to 21. So that's the column index. So for payee, that will be 14, as you know, and the next one, pension, that will be 15, and then next other one for NHL, that's the National Housing Fund, that will be 16. For insurance, that will be 17. You only have to change it manually like this, and then you are done. This will be 18, and then for this actually loan, this will be 19, and then for medical, I'll paste, and this will be 20, and then for advance, this will be 21, and then we are done. So we simply add up these values to make our total. So this is already summed. But if we want to now, we've got that, we simply say equals to sum, and then we add this, and then we have it. Then here also we simply sum it together. We sum this, and then we have it. So for net pay, we minus this from this. So we say equals to this minus, this minus this, and then we have this as the net pay. Now if you want to check the accuracy of this employee is 101. This is the gross pay, this is the deduction, and this is the total. You can actually check it out. You can see the gross pay, which is correct. You can see the deduction, and then the net pay, which is actually correct. Now we have done all the linkages. Now anytime you now select any employee, the details are automatically returned. So we have linked everything up with the help of Vlookup. Now what we want to do next now is that we want a system in such a way that we have a button here. So anytime we now click on that button, it automatically generates a PDF file for all our staffs. Now here you can actually put in your signature of the HR or the stamp or any other thing that you want to put here. Now what I want to do now is that I want to create a macro here that will actually help me to export this as a PDF file. Now let's go. Now the first thing I will do is that I will go to my developer. If you don't have a developer tab checked, you can click on any of these icons. Just right click and click on customize, and then you simply have to tick your here if it is unticked. Just tick it and click on OK, and then you have developer. So once I click on developer, I come to Visual Basics and I'll click, and I'll click on insert, and I'll say insert module, and then I have this. So this time around, in order to shorten the length of this video, I have prepared a notepad, a code on my notepad, which I'm going to bring up and explain the concept. Now this code I'm going to leave for you in the resources, in the comments, in the description. You actually download it and use it for free. Now I'll simply copy, and then I'll paste this here. Now I'll simply explain. Now the submit, that is what we want to do. We want to create, want to print in PDF, and then these are just declaration of what we want to use. The end as long, the file path as string, and the file name as string. And the one you say in quotation are comments. That just comment for explanatory purpose. So n for n is equals to 6 to 35. Now if you check my payroll, I have 30 employee, and in the payroll I'm starting from row 6. You can see here 101, the first employee, the row is 6, so to row 35, and that is the concept. So if your employee is more than 35, you simply have to increase it. Let's say your employee is 100, you simply come to the code. You simply have to come to the code here and change this to 100. This 35, you change it to 100, and it will accommodate every other thing. So now the CC, let me just divide the screen now so that you see what is going on. Now here in the payslip, now the CC is the range, that is where now the CC is the range, that is here the employee the staff ID, where you have it as 60 is the range, while the value is in A, that is the sheet 2 of what we have. So we just simply reference it, that would be, and then the file name, let me do it this way so that you see everything. Now the file name, this is the naming, and then the file name is a concatenation of both the ECs and the CCs and the ECs. Now what do I mean by that? That is, each file, each of the payslip will be stored using the employee ID and the employee name, and then separated by underscore. That is what this line of code is doing. And then we generate this part. It's going to export to this part, and then we export this. So export sheet as PDF, and then we have all the other code, ignore print error, false, and every other stuff there. And then this is meant for to take care of any error, and then when you print, this message will actually display, and then we have the end of sub. So what I will do right now is that I will go to my desktop. Let me just divide it again. Now I will go to my desktop. My desktop here, I will create a folder. I will say new, a folder, and I will call it pay. Yeah, I'll call it pay, and then I will simply click on the folder. I will open it, and then I'll copy the link. Click here and copy this link, and then you go back to your VBA, and then here in the VBA you have a file path, and then you just paste the path here, and that is where the payslip will be exported to automatically. Now all this, we are done with that. So I'll simply press on Ctrl S. I want to save. Now for you to save this, you have to save it as a macro enable workbook. So I'll click on no to achieve that, and then here I'll simply click on Excel macro enable workbook, and then I have it on my desktop. The name is Payroll Auto, and then I will just save. Now I have done everything that I need to do, so I will close this, and then I will enlarge this. Now what I have to do right now is that I have to create a button here, which I will do. Go to developer, go to insert and button, just have it the way you want, and then you link it to the macro, say OK, and then you can rename the button. So I'll simply say print, I'll name it as print PDF, and then I'll have it this way, print PDF. Sorry, I've actually clicked and it's already generating. You can see that it's already generating. So I will, but I want to rename it or edit test. So I will say I will name it as a print I'll name it as print payslip. Then I'll click on OK, and then I'll go to my folder. You can see all the payslip is automatically. I will delete it again for the benefit of this tutorial, and then I will come to my Excel. I will divide my screen, and then I have the folder here, and then I have my payslip here. So what I will do right now is that anytime I want to generate any payslip, I'll simply, after preparing the payroll, I'll simply come here, and then once I'm done with the payroll, I'll simply click on print payslip, and you see that it will automatically generate. You can see that it is generating all the payslip of any employee automatically. Now, if you're able to do, you can see that payslip in PDF file has been generated, and you click on OK. And then if we enlarge this, you see that all the payslip of our 30 employees, I can open this, has been generated, and you see this. Very, very wonderful. So this is a concept to automate your payroll and save yourself tons of hours of labor. Use Excel, and it's actually a wonderful thing. So I will leave these resources in the comment in the description. You can download it, all the code, everything. I will leave it in the description. So download it, modify it, and use it to automate your payroll system. Thanks for watching, and have a lovely time. So if you have learned anything in this tutorial, comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.